Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of Fast Break Bets presented by BettingPros. You know me, know the voice, know the guys. Me, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Oh, that's what I think about that day. You see, no glasses on. That was a horrible day. Uh, I don't know how I'm even on the week as of right now. That was a really, really bad day in college basketball. NBA was okay, 1-1 in the NBA, but really, really bad day in college basketball where it felt like everything that could have went wrong absolutely did go wrong. And so, quick little recap here. Let's show you how I did early in the day. Okay, so this is how I got ticked off earlier in the day because the Pitt game was playing, and this was a horrible, horrible game between two bad teams. And honestly, I'm degenerate for even having to play in that game because both of them look horrible all game. But it gets to the end of the game, and what happened? It was a tie game, and it was Notre Dame at the end of the game went up for a shot, and they called this like phantom foul call on the putback, and the game was going to overtime. Like it was going to overtime, and I had a little bit of confidence in Pitt. Pitt went up 4 with 105 to go in regulation and stepped out of bounds under 30 seconds to give Notre Dame the ball back. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is really, really annoying. So they were up 4. It was so many mistakes. It was a really, really bad basketball, like horrible basketball. I probably shouldn't have been on any side in that game, but Notre Dame was really bad, like really, really bad. So, all right, that didn't go our way. That phantom foul call at the end. It should have went to overtime. If we lost in overtime, I would have felt different. But come on. All right, so we get to that, and then over in the NBA, we had the Bucks game where this was also an annoying loss because the Bucks game did start very, very slow. It picked up heavy steam in the second half, and towards the end of the game, I'm just sitting there like, man, if we get into overtime, we are flying over this team total. Just get me to overtime. Just get me to overtime. And there was missed free throws, there was clutch shot making. And so I was sitting there and I was going through the emotions because it was like the Bucks had the game won. No, first the Pacers had the game won. Then they blew it. Then the Bucks had the game won. Then the Bucks blow it because they give up a 3 on some football play. First of all, shout out to Rick Carlisle for calling the play. And actually, I know the players had something to do with that play being made. And for Rick Carlisle to use that in the game, it was really fun. They had a football play where Tyrese Halliburton came off a screen and shot a falling fadeaway 3 that Giannis just over pursues and he fouls him. Halliburton somehow still makes the 3. Anything could have happened. He could have made the 3 and that been it, and we went to overtime, or he could have got fouled, not made the 3, made the 3 free throws, and we went to overtime. No, he makes the shot and gets fouled, goes up 1 with 3.4 remaining, and we don't get a chance for overtime to get the, what was it, 5 extra points that we need to get over this total. So that was annoying. Only good thing part about that is that Brook Lopez made that really, really easy on the points and assists, 11.5. That was an easy win there. Then we get to Florida State, who gets absolutely steamrolled by Syracuse early. Really, really annoying loss there because Florida State battled all the way back, like came all the way back, ended up not being able to get the win or cover. Vermont was never in the game. Kansas State had the win and cover. Had the win and cover. And then, oh man, I don't even remember what happened at the end of the K-State game. I just remember being annoyed because I watched it go from like, it was like some random tryhard from Arizona State, and I forgot how that game ended. I really do. I have to go back and watch that one. But I was really, really annoyed because I was sitting there. I'm like, oh wow, this game is about to end at 5, and they're not going to cover 5.5 here. So that was very annoying. FAMU was down their leading scorer 30 minutes before the game. Nothing we could do about that. They were getting killed at halftime. They ended up coming back all the way back and getting the cover for us. So I say all that to say 4-1 in the NBA this week, 1-4 in college basketball, complete polar opposite of what happened last week. Really, really looking for a big spot here. And I'm going to start with a college basketball play. I got one college basketball play, two NBA plays for you here today. And man, I'm really mad. Really, really mad because that K-State game could have been a win. Uh the Bucks game could have been a win. I'll take my L on Florida State and Pitt. I probably should have had no parts in those games. But and Vermont was just never even close. But the Bucks could have been a win and K-State should have been a win. That would have made a drastically different day. All right, let's get over to this week's chasing challenges. I told you I got a college basketball play for you today. I'm about to talk to you about that now in this week's chasing challenges presented by Microsoft. Because Microsoft, just like athletes who push boundaries and redefine what's possible, business decision makers today are turning challenges into opportunities. Microsoft meets you where you are with tools and guidance to help you impact make an impact with safe, secure AI solutions. Players and teams are facing their own challenges. In this segment, we will spotlight the team that is currently undergoing a challenge and what it means from a betting standpoint, and also going to examine how we think they can overcome this challenge. Whatever challenge you're facing, Microsoft empowers you with the expertise to say, bring it on. This week, we are discussing the Arkansas Razorbacks. Shout out to my guy, uh, recently retired Master Sergeant Bridge. Bridge is a huge Arkansas Razorbacks fan. And when we were deployed halfway across the world, we talked about Arkansas almost every single day. And I had already kind of been a fan of the Arkansas program. I really like KJ Jefferson. Note when he was on that Arkansas team, really, really good. I was a fan of the Arkansas program. Watching Arkansas not be able to score this year is really, really frustrating because I think they should be way better than that. There's been multiple times where they have struggled scoring the basketball. And it's frustrating because they're so good defensively. Like Calipari has a really, really good defensive group here that's top 5 in the SEC in defense, but they haven't been able to put the ball in the basket. And now here's the thing that I like about Cinderellas and I like about underdogs is because you got to be able to play defense everywhere. If you can play defense everywhere, you can be in any game. You just got to get hot at the right time. And I think this Arkansas team can get hot. I like them at 150 to 1. Nice little sprinkle. 150 to 1 to win the SEC tournament. And I think there's a pretty all right path here. You're getting this in a neutral site over there in Nashville, and that'll bring me to our first play, and I'll share a little bit more a little bit later. But again, South Carolina, I like Arkansas. I'm laying 3.5 with Arkansas again, South Carolina. After that, they would play Ole Miss, a team that they lost to earlier this season, but they played really, really good defense. I believe they held Ole Miss to 72 points in that game. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, 72 points in that game. They just couldn't score the basketball, man. So like they gave themselves a chance to be in the game. They just had to find ways to put the ball in the basket and be able to score. They held them 73. It was they lost 73-66. So they're just more consistency with the basketball. I think they can beat an Ole Miss team. Then you got to go play Auburn. That's why you're 150 to 1, because you got to play Auburn, who's been one of the best teams all year. However, they went on the road to Auburn this season and gave them a game 67-60. Auburn struggled to score the basketball at home. Arkansas was a horrible road team all year, and they went on the road to Auburn and be able to give them that kind of game. Yeah, I think that you'll be able to give them a game on a neutral court. And so there's a possibility that can happen. Again, it's 150 to 1 here. But then if they get past that and you go chalk after that, you get a Tennessee team that has struggled to score the basketball in their own right at times. They played them pretty decently as well. They just could not score. Like, that is the issue. 52 points in that game. You're not winning a basketball game scoring 52 points. Gave up 76. So a little bit of some struggle having to go through Auburn and Tennessee. But if Arkansas shoots the basketball amazing, and if they get hot, and they got rolling the past 2 games, they scored 93 points against Mississippi State in a game that promise you Arkansas tried their hardest to lose. And then against Vanderbilt on the road, scoring 90 against that Vanderbilt team that was really, really feeling themselves and were red hot going into that game. Uh, Oh man, if Arkansas can get hot scoring the basketball, I think they can make a run in the SEC. So I like a little future on Arkansas at 150 to 1 to win the SEC tournament because it's just hot shooting. You get really, really good shooting in combination with that defense, and you can go out there and you can beat anybody. And I've seen crazier happen. So it's 150 to 1. Why not throw a little 150 to 1 sprinkle on Arkansas here? All right, that's it for this week's Chasing Challenges. Remember, Microsoft's AI solutions empower you to take bold steps and make informed decisions, sparking new ideas to help drive your business forward. With Microsoft as your trusted partner, you can navigate your journey with confidence, finding innovative solutions and reaching new possibilities. Visit Microsoft.com/challengers to learn more. Yes, I like Arkansas here. Laying 3.5. South Carolina's been bad all year. Uh, they got the win against Arkansas earlier this month, 10 days ago from now. Well, 11 days ago from the time of the game. But again, Arkansas not hasn't been that good on the road, and South Carolina was really, really good at home this year. I know that their record doesn't say it, but at home they played a Florida team. They should have got a win at home there, and they did their hardest to lose that game. But they played Florida, lost by 1. They played Texas A&M really close, lost by 4. They played Ole Miss really close, lost by 6. They played Auburn really close at home, lost by 3. Like South Carolina was really good at home this year. It was just the SEC is so stacked, like so completely stacked. But South Carolina was really good at home this year. I think that now on the neutral court, yeah, it gets it gets to be a little bit more even here, and I think Arkansas is going to come up big. South Carolina's been horrible defensively all year, and that's the confidence that this Arkansas needs in the first game of the tournament. Getting a bad defensive team and being able to find some confidence in their offensive game and riding that through the rest of the tournament. So yeah, I like Arkansas to get this done here. DJ Wagner and company laying 3.5 against South Carolina. All right, play a number 2. We're going to go to the NBA, where the Minnesota Timberwolves are going up against the Denver Nuggets. Line currently sitting here at 3.5 for the Nuggets. Nuggets laying 3.5 here. 235.5 is total. I am going to be back on another team total here. Give me the Minnesota Timberwolves to go over their team total of 116.5. Denver's been pretty good to giving up the team total since the All-Star break. 6-4 are their opponents to their team total. And Minnesota's been one of the best offenses in the league, believe it or not. 7-3 since the All-Star break to their team total. They've been scoring 120 points per game since the All-Star break, and it's a lot in part because they got healthier. They got Julius Randle back. They got Dante DiVincenzo back. So now the offense starts to look more fluid with more options to go with the ball, and it doesn't look stagnant where you're just begging Anthony Edwards to do something with the ball every possession. They've gotten a little bit better in the fourth quarter, which is good for a team total, especially getting towards the end of the game. And what I think is going to be a competitive game here. They've gone over this in both games against the Denver Nuggets this season that they've gotten a win in. So let's ride another team total here. I think that this is a good spot to take the not Memphis. I keep saying Memphis and Minnesota whenever I talk about those two teams. I always switch the ends. Minnesota Timberwolves, we're going to back them to go over their team total of 116.5 here. Feel good about that. Same game brings me my player prop because I'm going to take Mike Conley. Mike Conley, the timeless one, to go over 4.5 assists here in this game. Mike Conley has been over 4.5 assists in 10 of his last 12 games against the Denver Nuggets. 10 of his last 12. He has, oh, wait, hold up. Let me update. And it's plus money. Like, you can get this at plus 120 at some shops. Everywhere this is plus money. You're telling me for a prop that Mike Conley has gone over in 10 of his last 12 against Denver. He's gone over in 10 of his last 15 games, 6 of his last 10 games. So it's not like he's not in good form right now. He's in very, very good form. And as the offense has gotten better, he's been able to rack up more and more and more assists and be a beneficiary of it. Currently, his line's at 4.5. Projected prop bet cheat sheet has him for 5.4, 63% cover probability, and a 5-star rating. Yeah, you're giving me plus 120 on a bet that he's hit in 10 of his last 12 against Denver. I'm going to just continue to ride the hot hand here. Give me Mike Conley over 4.5 assists in this game. And those will be my 3 plays here. I have Arkansas laying 3.5 here in the SEC tournament. I have Minnesota Timberwolves team total over 116.5. And I have Mike Conley to go over 4.5 assists. Okay, so I know I said I was going to talk some futures for college basketball last episode. I forgot. I'm remembering now. So here's me talking quick futures. Don't really have a lot that I'm going off of. As I add more or I get interested in anything, I may add something and I'll bring it back to the show. But the few things that I'm kind of interested, 2 tournaments. ACC, I just know the ACC typically doesn't go chalk, man. And no matter how big the number is, whether it's Duke, UNC, UVA for a while, like a lot of those times, it normally doesn't go to the 1 seed. So who do I think can beat Duke? Clemson, 6-1. Okay, I can take a sprinkle there. I don't know why North Carolina is 22-1 and Wake is 80-1 in this tournament. And North Carolina's playing an additional game. First of all, they might not even beat Notre Dame. Let's just talk about that. They already might not beat Notre Dame, but they play an extra game, and there's that big of a discrepancy. And I'm not really certain because Wake played Duke tough at Wake. I think in an ACC tournament where I've seen anything happen in the past, that, yeah, if you told me that Wake and what is a kind of a little brother matchup kind of gets up, gets hot, and just kind of upsets Duke, yeah, 80-1, I'll take a little bit of a sprinkle on an 80-1. Like, come on, it's 80-1. So, yeah, I think Wake could be that Cinderella darling in the ACC tournament. We've seen Virginia win it in years, not Virginia, Virginia Tech win it in years past when nobody hacked them pegged. And if you beat Duke, then at that point, I feel like you basically have a good chance of winning. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little flyer on Wake at 80-1. I like Clemson on the bottom half of the bracket to get there, so 6-1 there. SEC, I already told you about Arkansas earlier, 150-1. Come on, why not a little sprinkle there just to see what happens? I do still really like Florida. I think Florida, but I would prefer Florida to lose the SEC tournament and then use that as motivation and get hot during the NCAA tournament. And I cash the Florida national championship future. Really would like that. But so yeah, oh man, it's so many range of outcomes here for the SEC tournament. I think Kentucky actually is in a really interesting spot where if Kentucky can get going and they play an Alabama team that they lost to earlier, and I think that could be competitive. So that would be interesting. I think Kentucky's a little interesting there at 19-1, but oh man, I might just be I'll take my Arkansas ticket and just sit there and watch that 150 go up in flames or be completely magical. We'll see. But 150-1 on Arkansas and Calipari, and they just do something really, really funny and actually win the SEC tournament and solidify that they are going to dancing in March. Yeah, interested in that. All right, I gave you the 3 plays, gave you a little bit of futures talk, and really just me rambling. Didn't really have anything else. That went a little bit longer than I thought it was going to go. So with that, I am at really real __. Make sure you give me a follow on X and TikTok at Betting Pros on Betting Pros. Oh, on X and TikTok there at NFL. No, I can't even talk. At Betting Pros and at Betting Pros NFL on Instagram. Man, can I get that out? At Betting Pros NFL on Instagram, at Betting Pros on X and TikTok, and youtube.com/Betting Pros, where you can comment on any fast break bets video as long as you're subscribed. Have a chance to win this awesome Sean Kemp just signed jersey, just like that. All you gotta do is be subscribed and comment on the video. Okay, with that, now I'm really done. I went way over on time. Probably going to get a little slap on the wrist, but it'll be all right. Okay. Nothing else to say. Nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.